we know that millions of Africans go to bed hungry every night, and this is getting worse in part due to the war in Ukraine. And so what we're seeing is this is exposing the vulnerability of Africa to costly dependent on imports to meet very basic needs. We're seeing key staples going up by 20 to 50%. The price of fertilizer has increased by 200 to 300%. And this is a really serious crisis and made worse by recovering from COVID-19, made worse by increasing climate change issues that are really affecting farmers. And again, this is not the first time we've had a global food price crisis, but again, this time is worse. But what's different this time is that we have technologies that we didn't have before. We've been investing in agriculture, and we have these new varieties that can help farmers plant in areas where there's increasing climate change and really improve their production, improve their productivity in face of what's going on right now. So again, these seeds are things like water efficient maize that help farmers in an increasingly drier environment produce maize and increase their returns on maize. Things like heat tolerant wheat that allow farmers to plant in areas that they couldn't plant in before because it was too hot, it was too marginal. So there's several of these technologies, again, after decades of investment in this research. But the problem is that these technologies are not yet getting out to farmers at scale. And so that's what we need to do, is rapidly get these technologies out to scale. And we've seen in places like Ethiopia that in just a few seasons, we're able to really increase the production of these new technologies and really increase yields very, very quickly. And that's something that can take a country like Ethiopia very quickly from being dependent on 1.6 million metric tons of wheat imports that are very costly every year, to today being self-sufficient in wheat and looking to export in the coming year. And that is the very quick, game-changing type intervention that we're really looking to scale up with our new $1.5 billion emergency food production facility. This will reach 20 million farmers with these new technologies in order to really scale up that transformation and increase production that we seek to really mitigate this immediate crisis and really structurally change how we invest in agriculture in Africa over the long term. So talking about climate adaptation in Africa, you really have to start with agriculture, because again, 2/3 of the continent depend on agriculture for their livelihoods, and the link between agriculture and climate is huge. And so getting these technologies out to farmers so they can continue to produce and increase their production within the context of climate change is incredibly important. Again, I mentioned a couple of the varieties, but again, these varieties allow farmers to be successful in environments that they wouldn't have been able to be successful in before. Places that were too hot, too dry, too wet, too whatever, too infested with, whatever sort of pest. These varieties are there to really cope with that and help farmers really increase their production in the face. So this facility will help, again, scale up the use, the availability of these climate adaptive technologies that we really need to get out at scale. And then also will help really farmers with the affordability of fertilizer, which again, the prices have gone up so high that if farmers not able to afford the fertilizer and don't apply it, we can expect to see a 20 to 50% reduction in food production on the continent right now, which is really devastating in the face of this global constriction of supply. So again, getting fertilizer, making it affordable, and farmers to use it this year is very, very important. This facility will help. So I'm really hopeful, again, because we have the technologies, and we have the technologies now that farmers need to really scale up production like they haven't before. And this is our time to really use the injected capital, to get these resources out to farmers so they can really sustainably increase their production over the long term. So I think that this global food crisis and how it's impacting Africa has been the subject of most of the conversations here. And to really, for us to be able to really explain what this facility is and what it can do, and to really hear from governments about what exactly they need, helps us to very quickly tailor the interventions in each country to meet the needs of what's going on, in the many different climates, the many different, situations that are in different countries across Africa. So we can accelerate what we're doing very much by having everyone here on the ground. Well, this is an incredible opportunity, especially after many Zoom meetings, to meet people in person and to really just understand the power of the bank and how we work together, and to meet all of our partners on the ground, all here together, all motivated to make sure that we can accelerate the work we're doing together to really drive the development across the continent. I think people are really excited about Africa's leadership in providing an African plan to increase production locally on the ground in order to just reduce this dependence and really increase the ability of Africa to produce food for itself. And yes, there is a lot of excitement. So thank you.